Hello everyone, and welcome to Critical Role, a show where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors get together, roll dice, and play Dungeons & Dragons. The party recently had an encounter with the Briarwoods, two individuals that were responsible for a lot of strife in the background of Percival's history, seemingly responsible for the destruction of his entire family, and have for the past 5 years been essentially ruling his home city and castle. They were out for a political banquet with Sovereign Uriel and Iman, and the party member of VOX MACHINA. They were all invited to be part of this. Didn't quite go as planned. There was a scuffle, and the Briarwoods absconded back to Whitestone. They sent a couple of assassins out to attempt to take out their driver, who was spilling information and essentially was going to be VOX MACHINA's way of being free of any sort of political issues based on their actions that evening. And after much discussion and preparation, the party took their transit over to the east, northeast, towards Whitestone, to the north, using the mountain range as opposed to going directly through the forest. They camped for the evening and began to make their way through some sort of a mountainous valley that led in towards the forest surrounding Whitestone. While they were traveling down this pass, there was a rumbling and some sort of really fast, rapid-moving, large blue creature that leaped down in front, catching them off guard. And that is where we begin today.
Probably should.
Did the creature look like that?
This is what the creature.
Yeah,
Okay.
right? That would have been smart.
What did you roll on your beard check?
Would I roll my beard
I know
check?
it's growing.
We can't.
Well, obviously. No shave till 10K.
That's true.
And my Halloween costume requires a decent amount of facial hair.
That's right.
Sexy amount of facial hair.
So,
you beast. Be glad there's a table between you and I.
As this huge, blue-scaled, reptilian-like creature with multiple arms and legs comes skittering down the side of the cliffs, blocking off the entirety of this passage, snarling at you with its sharp teeth and this seemingly sparking blue electrical energy kind of just jutting out of the corners of its mouth. I want you all to roll initiative.
Get down, and I'm going to take 3 shots.
I'm gonna start shooting. You're just gonna start shooting.
I'm just going to. Hey, look at that thing!
Hey, Percy gonna do what Percy gonna do.
What if you could reason with him?
He is definitely.
Why doesn't it reason with me?
Definitely.
That's what I'm asking. I'm going to use the sharpshooter for extra damage. So 17.
17 hits.
18 plus 7. Yeah, it hits.
Third one?
And for the third one, I'm going to go for a headshot instead of a sharpshooter. 21.
Okay, all 3 hit. Go and roll damage.
17.
17 damage.
25. That
Alrighty.
went really well. And then the last one, 7 points of damage, plus he's got,
Disadvantage on his attacks this round.
disadvantage on attacks.
Gotcha. Next up is the creature. This rolled really high on its initiative. So it scurries forward, lowers its jaw, and rears its head back. As it does, you see its eyes flare with electrical energy, and the inside of its mouth begins to glow with a brightish blue-white power.
Get down.
A bolt of electrical energy comes forward, hitting Grog, Vex, and Trinket.
I approve of that.
33 points of lightning damage to both of you.
Wait, that means
Trinket takes 66.
66.
Trinket's fucking dead, yo.
What?
Unconscious.
That fast?
Which one? Undead or unconscious?
He's unconscious.
Don't throw around the D word unless it's the D word
So,
time.
as there is a crackling of energy forward, you two brace yourself, managing to get mostly out of the way. Unfortunately, both of you dodging out of the way leaves an open shot for your large bear that just takes the brunt of it, throwing Trinket up against the side of the actual mountainous cavern, and then slumps to the ground, smoking off the fur.
Sorry, Grog.
Well,
I'm gonna Hail of Thorns him.
Alrighty.
Oh no.
30.
30 hits.
22.
22 also hits.
No, that's the attack.
Oh, that's the damage. Okay, gotcha.
Would
Right.
that be considered piercing, bludgeoning, or slashing damage?
It doesn't matter. You have not taken your turn to rage
Oh,
yet.
fucking shit.
That'll be full damage upon your Grog.
Shit, I'm sorry. The other one was 27.
Yeah. Okay.
21.
21. Got it. All right. You angrily turn around, release your arrow, firing a completely furious hail of thorns into the creature as it hits and shatters across its hide. Some of it scattering onto Grog. You don't even care. You just focus in anger. Pull out a second arrow and unleash it. This one actually jamming underneath one of the scales. You can see a little trickle of dark, deep purple blood beginning to pour from the wound.
Getting ass lit up with the hail of thorns. I go into a rage.
Okay.
Go into a frenzied rage.
Alrighty.
I would like to attack 3 times with my flaming warhammer.
Certainly.
But
No more shopping
That is
today.
24.
That hits.
21.
That hits.
26.
That also hits.
13. First one.
13 damage. Good enough.
14 for the second one. 21 plus the fire damage,
Good to know.
including the fire damage.
All right, so you just whack, whack, and just start bludgeoning the creature right up in its face. You can see it's like thrashing and snarling at you and snapping with each blow. You guys are locked in this kind of, Titan versus, human battle right now.
I'm right next to Trinket, right? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go ahead and do a Cure Wounds spell on him.
All right.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Keelan.
I'll just do first level.
Trinket's not worth to say.
I'll give him a shut up, Keelan.
Wake him up.
I instantly felt guilty, dick.
You guilted it up to another level.
Yeah, you did.
Trinket is at 25 hit points, conscious.
Great.
Prone, but conscious.
Pull out my Spark Stone.
Oh wow, we're going there.
Okay. As you can feel, it's warm to the touch, almost too hot to hold. And there's a slight pulsing, almost like a heartbeat pulse to it. You hold it in your hands and just crush it, concentrating all your energy on it. As you do, your hands burst into flames, and you instinctively pull back like you want to go ahead and put out the fire. But then it falls to a normal temperature again, but the flames remain, and you can now see your hands are now emitting flame.
And I go Minxie.
All right.
And I brought the hood.
I click the boots face together, and then I'm going to crouch low, and I should be able to go 60 feet without a problem, all the way past the fucker. I guess I will just dagger him in the ass then.
All right.
So, 24,
24 hits.
31 for the first, 23,
All right, that hits.
7,
7, alrighty.
16.
16, that does not hit. The first one stabs through, and you can see you've actually hit some sort of an internal organ as you pull back and starts gouting blood. Using that, you stab a second blade in the same area and tend to open the wound another inch, inch and a half. The third one you pull back, but it kind of slinks around looking over its shoulder, its long, sinewy neck curling over and staring at you, and your blade catches the hide instead and streaks off of the scales.
And I summon
Alrighty.
Big B's hand.
This giant spectral hand, kind of sparkling arcane energy appears roughly in front of your space.
And I'll just punch him in the face.
Go for it. I like that.
A 13.
13. As the fist swings out, it whoosh, ducks out of the way, its serpentine body ducking as the fist just arcs off into the middle of the air.
And I'll also inspire Grog.
Okay.
He's Grog, he's Krog, he's big, he's strong like wood. He's better than bad, he's good.
I'm gonna take 3 more shots just to see what I can do.
Okay. Oh no.
Misfire?
Misfire.
First shot. As you pull up to the side, you pull your pepper box out and go to fire. As you do, you pull the trigger, and the actual barrel sticks off the side, spins off, and ping, ping, ping on the ground.
Can I at least use my bonus to pick up the pieces? And
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
You
gonna
collect
pick up
pepper
the
box
pieces
and you pull your back up to it. And
Make sure you grab your dignity as well.
I'm just gonna leave that as an open target for a little while.
Fair enough. It's gonna turn around, and its head that's looking at you now, after you stab it in the back, reaches down, its giant jaws open. You can see like this thick saliva that's coating its fangs, and it whoosh, with serpentine speed, 23 to hit.
So, uncanny dodge and dodge for half damage. So, it was a what to hit?
23?
23 hits, but I take half damage.
All right, it would be 26 damage, so you take 13.
Nothing.
As it bites, it turns around, and its tail begins to snake around your body, Grog, and its whole body begins to try and reach around to constrict and crush you.
Oh shit.
21 to hit.
That hits.
So total 22 damage.
Okay.
And you are considered grappled and restrained currently as the entire creature begins to wrap around you, and you're currently you're trying to hold on to your axe, but your whole body's being crushed by this large serpentine creature. You can,
Piece of shit.
you can feel every pulse of its muscles tensing as the pain and ache. You can feel muscles and ligaments tearing and popping as it pulls in on you.
I'm gonna move out.
Okay, it has a reach of 10, so you are technically within its melee range. So you can run, but you'll take attack of opportunity from it if you do.
I'll
Over
turn
here?
it back towards Percy.
Right there?
Yeah.
Over here?
Sure, yeah.
26 to hit.
Oh, Jesus, really?
19 points of piercing damage as its mouth whoosh, lashes out, takes a chunk of your shoulder for a second, and you wrench yourself away and keep running.
I'm going to shoot him.
Yes, you are.
Okay. 22,
That hits.
14 for the first hit.
Okay.
The second one is through the blazing bow at 22,
Second one hits.
16.
16 15 damage. All right. You're
I
up.
would like to try and break the gravel.
All right.
Natural 20.
Yes.
Oh, that was good.
All right.
I
So
bite his tail.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
as your teeth sink into one of its scales and you yank it out with the sheer force of your muscle in your neck,
Move it over my way. I'll catch
it
it.
unfurls for a second. You manage to pull yourself out of its grasp, but you do have a bonus action still.
I hit the shit out of it.
I get another attack. Go for it.
21.
21 does hit.
15.
15
With
points.
fire damage.
All right. So as you pull away, you reach back with your hammer and whack, slam it into its side, causing a straight burst of fire to
Bitch.
emanate from the impact. It shrinks back for a second and
You grab me. You ask first.
Repair die.
I'm gonna do my bite and claw attacks.
all right.
20.
20 hits.
Okay.
So any of your claw attacks, or any like claw attacks you do in any of your forms, now get an additional 1d6 fire damage.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
11 damage for the claws.
That's an additional 1d6 fire damage.
Ooh, another 4, so what did I
15.
say? 15 damage? 28.
That hits. You go to roll damage for the bite.
So 14.
Okay, cool. So after your flaming claw strikes
Sorry,
across its outer body, its legs kind of pull away from the pain as you reach up and bite into the edge of its tail.
And I'm just gonna throw 3 daggers into the wound that I already hit. So
Alright.
I'm gonna do that again. 23.
That hits.
39 for the first dagger.
That's just the first dagger?
Whoa!
Big attack, man.
This is 17.
17 just barely hits.
Just barely hits. Yeah. 8 of damage.
Alright.
Come on, come on, come
And
on.
I just wait a second and go, and then throw it, and that, and because I was such a cock, it misses. It was 16.
So, oh, perfect. Second dagger. Beds actually wedges in with the second dagger, opening the wound even more. You're like, perfect opening. You go through the third one, and it's grown wise to it, and turns around and actually rakes its claw out and deflects the dagger midair.
I still have my Big B's hand up, so I kind of do one of these where I say, oh, wise guy, see? Oh. And I just poke him in the eyes. 19.
Yeah.
All right.
19.
19 points of force damage as you jam both of its fingers into the sides of its head. Both of its eyes recoil on it. Reaches out and starts thrashing at the air around as the hand kind of just dodges around from it.
I will inspire Percy.
Thank you.
I'll just start like doing this move, and I pour some scaling on you. When you need a hand.
All right, I'm gonna try and fix this broken piece of Gosep. I hit a 12, which is just barely enough to fix it.
Okay. So you take your action to go ahead and repair the gun.
And I'm gonna burn an action surge.
Okay.
So I'm like, I finally get it, and it just starts going. And I'm just gonna empty out the chamber. A sharpshooter shot, 22.
22 hits.
Nice.
Really? Are we going there?
No.
Did he misfire
Oh, you
again?
didn't misfire.
You roll.
did you?
Misfired again, I rolled a 2.
No.
I got 1 shot off.
You got 1 shot off, go ahead and roll damage. Sharpshooter damage, so I guess the plus 10 damage.
24 damage plus 4 points of fire damage.
Nice. Okay. So as you go and you fix it, it takes the first shot with a burst of flame that just shoots out the front of the barrel. The second shot, this time the actual metal in the front arcs upward, and it looks like this is going to take a moment to really seriously repair it. This here is going to shift back here, rears down right in your face. And Godzilla style just unleashes a
God.
burst of electrical energy.
Dodge it.
And
Dodge
heal it.
it.
33 points of lightning damage to you, Grog, 66 to you.
I'm out
Okay.
in keyless form.
And how much damage goes over?
Not that many, thank God. 12.
12. Okay, so as Minxie all of a sudden gets blasted, you can see the form shrink down to keyless normal form on the ground, hand still flaming, a little bit of a singe to the back of her hair, and kind of
Crap.
stands back up.
I'll take that.
I'm going to attack it.
Okay.
So that's a 14.
14 does not hit, unfortunately. The first
Okay.
arrow just ricochets and shatters
Great,
across the
good
part of its
times,
body.
good times. 16, both missed.
Both arrows
Fucking
just
A.
explode across its hide. It's too
waist.
thick.
I try and match the Godzilla roar. It's not really as good. Nice swing 3 times
Go
with
for
my
it.
fire hammer. 18
18, that hits.
and 21.
21 hits.
19.
19 hits. Roll damage.
13, 23, and 22.
How do you want to do this?
I like to reach up with my firebrand warhammer, and I would like to smash it on top of its skull, and when it hits the ground, I just like to keep turning it into jelly and paste and sweet jams that I can bottle up and sell later.
You guys watch this continuous barrage, this horrible bludgeoning. Every impact, rocks are beginning to tumble and fall around it, and you can see just each horrible, sickening smack. Its head just collapses more and more. The mush begins to spill out from under it, and this giant pool of like dark violet liquid and gelatinous mush that was once the inside of its head begin to just grow around it as Scrog just keeps hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting.
Grog?
Hitting.
Grog?
I use Bigby's hand to stop the hammer.
Maybe you unrage. Rage. Lullaby, hope. Lullaby.
Oh, look, we made jelly.
Speaking of jelly, I would like to go ahead and do a nature check to see if I can salvage some goods from whatever.
I walk up to it and kick it and say, "That's trinket, you dick."
Okay.
I rolled a 21 to like collect goods.
Okay. Looking through the book that you have, the creature, you eventually takes a while to look through as you guys are taking your short rest. You can use your hit dice to heal yourself. It's known as a behir. There are two things anything in the face and teeth are gone. They're just mush. The entire head is destroyed. Some of its hide can be repurposed for, like lightning resist based armor, but currently it's unknown who has the speciality to actually work with that material. There is also a gland in its throat that it uses to charge its lightning breath. Go ahead and roll for the hide first if you guys want to go ahead and do that.
Natural 20!
Oh, snap.
You managed to harvest 10 pound worth of scales at most, but you managed to get enough to maybe make one set if somebody manages to work really well with it. It takes most of your short rests. You will not be able to use your hit dice for healing on this because you're spending the time harvesting instead.
Nice.
You managed to, thankfully, the damage that Grog had inflicted upon its head destroyed most of its matter right up to the throat gland, which is mostly untouched. It's salvageable. You don't know how much it's worth, but probably a decent amount, as the book says that they're rare, especially to find intact.
And I'm going to try and fix this mess.
And eventually you get pretty confident that it's back to a functional piece of weaponry. As you guys are pressing forward, you guys are taking your time waiting, and Tiberius is getting impatient and is kind of crossing his arms. And I feel like I should have got more materials. I don't think I'm quite prepared enough for this.
Tiberius, you prepared a lot.
Tibbs, what do you need?
I have an idea. Be back in a few days.
What?
No, don't leave.
He sits down and starts making his teleportation.
No,
Tiberius.
we need that. Tiberius.
You are a heavy hitter. We don't know where we're going, what we're doing.
Tiberius leans in and whispers to you in a strange tongue, and it sparks in your ears somewhere. The player's not here, and the DM's trying to not make it too complicated for him to keep track of an additional character for the session.
I understand that.
I'm just trying to give you a hard time.
I'll remember that.
Oh no!
He finishes his teleportation circle, and then with a flash, vanishes.
Shit! Really, Tiberius? Really?
You guys press on, following this winding path, narrows at certain points and then widens for a bit. You come across the twins at the front, notice around the edges as it begins to descend down into kind of the beginning of the valley descent. You see an edge of the mountain that looks more angular than the usual natural formations of it. It almost looks like it comes to a point, like an edge, a very sharp edge and a smooth side.
History check?
I'd say go and make an intelligence check. Just roll your intelligence modifier.
Not a history
I can do it with you if you want.
When you made a history check, you know many things that exist here in the mountains, but at this distance, you don't see enough of it to actually.
He's not
gonna let me do it.
He rolled a natural 20.
For
An
help
intelligence
out.
check because I'm an idiot, but
He doesn't know the.
I kind of want Grog to
But
speak
he's a
truth
mountain.
right
He's
here.
an expert on mountains.
actually, this works out kind of interestingly. As you guys are walking forward and you're seeing this and you're kind of keeping back, Grog, you instinctively look over and go, "Oh, that's a stone giant fortress."
I did something smart.
Those are bad guys, right?
Yeah, it's bad.
We should not go that way.
We should definitely stay away from that.
Maybe go up on the other side of the chasm, opposite of it.
Or if you can move around the side, you're welcome
Maybe
to.
hide. Make sure we're hidey.
A mile away? 1,000 feet away?
I'd say you're about a good 600, 700 feet from it.
not that far.
You know, we could try to work our way up the opposite side of the chasm.
That would also allow us a good view of it as well. I like the plan of going up the other side of the chasm.
Can we try to climb the other side?
Certainly. A couple of missteps and almost sliding. Keyleth, at one point, you grasp her by the hand, and Grog pulls her back up onto the platform.
No, up here.
Over time, you guys make your way along this kind of very rocky and precarious, anywhere from 5 to 3 to 2 feet in width, sometimes even lesser than that, and you guys are having to shimmy across. You make your way around, and you can see this large fortress that is built out of large and placed stones and stonework. It looks ancient. For size-wise, it's 2 stories for a giant, which means it's probably close to 6 or 7 stories of height, built into the side of a mountain, and it goes down almost like 2 giant steps. It's built on essentially where the giant bowl, the caldera, if you will, of this valley, this mountain range would be. It's built on the inside of it, so it actually is constructed as you continue to descend into the valley. Looking from this distance and keeping the best visual you can see, there is no movement. The 2 front doors, you see these 2 large stone doors that are the entrance to it. One of the doors is actually broken in half and left kind of partially ajar and open.
We gotta go in now.
No.
They could be dead in there.
If something could have
Lots of
taken
gold.
out giants, what could it be that could have done that?
Vampire
But
giants.
it could be the Briarwoods. We should see everything that's up here. We need to
How
know.
awesome would that be?
Recon it.
I'll go bat.
She makes her way down through. You swoop up to one of the windows and you glance inside and looking around, and you can see most of the furniture inside is in tatters. There are large, giant-sized tables and chairs that have been broken in half and strewn across the room. Splatters and puddles of blood, large bits of blood across the ground that is dried. But from your current vision from this, there is no sign of any living or individuals or bodies. It's just like this area, there was a battle took place here, and there's nothing currently present to signify who or what. It goes a little deeper, and then there is a slight, this is the upper floor, there is a grade, almost like a slow, word this case for a second, ramp.
slope.
Thank you.
A ramp.
Yeah.
A ramp that disappears below into the lower floor.
A sigil.
I'm gonna go into that.
Careful.
Like it's been ransacked, or just like a really nasty fight.
Like some sort of a major fight went down. No sign of any bodies or body parts. No sign of leftover weapons or armor. You just see what looks like large amounts of dried blood across the stone floors.
I'm gonna go out to the front door.
Okay.
I'm gonna bamf out of my bat form and say, "All right, looks like the coast is clear. If you guys want to check this place
Yeah,
out."
let's go check in.
Check it out.
All right, the rest of you make your way back down towards the front of the fortress and enter the inside. As you go through the front door, you can see the door, the impact that destroyed it was from the inside out.
Oh.
Really?
So not like it wasn't beaten in, it was beaten from the inside out. You find roughly 120 gold pieces, a number of shattered glass vials, like they once contained various elixirs. There's one that's unshattered.
I take it.
All right. Underneath it all, covered in quite a bit of filth, you see what looks to be a very, very well-crafted longbow. Appears to have some sort of magical radiance to it. The construction is elvish in nature. There are bits of mithril scrolling all throughout the bow itself with platinum caps on the edge.
Can I walk out the front door and keep post on the porch?
Yeah, I'm
whatever it's
following
called?
Grog and doing the same.
Here are the potion and the bow you guys managed to.
I took the potion.
She's she's taking the bow for a spin.
She's attuning.
Seeing what it can do.
Do we see anything outside on the porch?
Flocks of birds kind of moving through and kind of swooping through the area. One flock kind of come up and begin circling
Oh.
a little bit.
Ooh, that.
Make its
Should
way
we get
back
out?
down
Should
towards
we-
the valley.
Let's leave. Stealth it out. Stealthy outie.
That's a 1.
Oh, if it's natural one, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can't
So
add shit to
so
one.
while you sneak off to the side, you see these birds. You're like, there's a lot of birds there. And you start yelling out to everyone, there's a lot of birds out here, like shouting it loudly back into the fortress.
Oh shit.
Pointing them out.
They're birds!
Yeah, they
Not-
might be spies. They might be spies.
Yeah, I spy birds. They're flying everywhere. Go away! Go!
Inside. Inside.
The birds immediately start circling the fortress very close. You can hear the screeching, and now you see the birds. Now they're crows. They're very, very thick murder of crows. Probably close to 100 of them. Eventually, the crows take back to the original path
Before the crows leave, I'm gonna go like storm, and I'm gonna sleet storm them.
You start hearing this pounding sound on the top of the fortress as sleet and hail begins to rain down. There are a few birds that get pelted and knocked at the ground, encased in sleet, but most of it just immediately takes that note to get away from the storm and vanish and disappear back.
Do they fall to the porch?
Let's say one. One does land.
I run out there, I grab it.
No.
I rip its head off with my teeth.
You run out there, you grab the one that's on the ground, and it's like struggling, and there's ice gathering on the outside.
Shut up!
You grab it, you pick it up, and you hear Max go, Grog! And you go, as she's staring at you, silencing the crow. With a sound. You guys
we are
out of the fortress and begin to follow the path down into the outside of the forest. And just as you make towards the base of the mountain to where the forest canopy begins to take your vision, you can see just over the edge a couple of small castle towers and what looks to be a single central spire of the castle of Whitestone.
They know we're here now. They know we're here.
Yeah, I think
That was a sentry.
For your reference as well, since you've been here before, you would know the city relatively well.
Maps.
This is the most exciting map I've ever been handed.
A basic rundown of the
Little lower.
size, design, and shape of Whitestone. That's kind of the direction you're coming from currently.
That's a detailed map, man.
Okay.
Yep, I don't have any free time anymore.
This is going to be that kind of
Percy, do
game.
you know of any secret passages to get actually into the castle?
I was wondering that myself.
There is one, the one that you took to escape.
Yes,
Cassandra
there is
pulled you
one.
from
Where is it?
the western edge of the mountain precipice the castle was built on. It was built to be specifically an escape in case the place was under siege. Unfortunately, the circumstances of the evening happened so rapidly and with creatures that seemingly were unnatural, the family didn't have time to really make it out. And even you weren't fully aware of it. Cassandra, however, had overheard discussions about it in the past and took that as your escape route. It's like a hidden tunnel at the very base of that mountain.
I say we scope out the hidden entrance, see if it's guarded, see if they've discovered it. Instead of using it, I actually think we should possibly spend the night and get a view of the town and see if there's anything
I
unusual.
agree. Can we camp out and hide?
Watch from afar. What's that going to tell us?
We could send one in. Wow.
We'll send a bird in.
Or an
Or an
invisible,
invisible gnome.
little person.
Or both?
Or both. An invisible bird gnome.
And you all immediately catch up and hear the sound of distant howling.
Is it nighttime? Oh, that's scary.
Distant howling. Does it sound like wolves? Can I do a nature check to see if
Yeah, make a nature check.
26?
26. Those are wolves. It sounds like just a pack of wolves, probably close to anywhere from 5 or 6.
Would I think it would be weird that they are out howling during the daytime?
You gather that it is strange that they are out this, although it is getting later in the day, it's getting, you're probably pushing, at this point, 4 or 5 in the afternoon, the sun's starting to get closer to the horizon. It is strange that they're out this early.
I say we hide in the trees.
Up high.
Like up in
high.
the trees?
I like it.
We'll
Well,
send
how
in
long
some
would it
scouts.
take to get into the town from where we're
About 2 more hours of travel. Now, invisibility, how long does it last at full duration?
looking? Up to an hour. Ooh,
Okay.
and it takes us 2 hours just to get there?
Well, flying, it takes you an
before
hour.
you
An
get in.
hour round trip.
So it's one of those things you could do as you approach it, you know, and
Do that.
last you a while. They're supposed to doing it now.
Do we all go up, the 4 of us go up into trees?
Everyone get your own tree.
Everyone get your own tree.
All right, everyone who's in a tree, please roll a
Except for
stealth check.
Trinket, who can't climb a tree.
Trinket can climb trees. There's
Stealth
trees.
check.
I was saying you guys all managed to slowly get yourself up into the tree the best you can as you guys take off. While you guys are away, making your way towards Whitestone, the rest of you look down and just from a passive perception standpoint, you pick up the most detail. You can see there is indeed a pack of about 5 wolves and or dogs a little ways away, but they're being followed by 1 humanoid. They're being guided. There's a pack out here for some, whether it be a hunting party or whatever other reasons there may be. It isn't a wild.
And they're close to us now.
I had been doing the dust of tracelessness. So.
Yeah. The dogs, wolves, all get relatively close. One of them kind of comes out and returns back to the pack. You don't get a good view of the individual that is currently guiding the pack, and you see them kind of disappear between the thick trees in the distance. It does appear to be a female form.
Oh, it's a
check?
Best you can tell, you can't tell specific race or any details, and then about another minute passes before the barking and howls fade, and the hunting party seems to have been eluded. You guys make your way, swooping down. You can see that cluster, that murder of crows, begin circling out and is making a large pass over this entire valley. You take this cue as you get to the almost a visual range of the city to cast invisibility on both of you as a 3rd level spell?
Yes.
Okay. Both of you just vanish from view. Outside of the city, there are some areas where the trees are carved out, and there is farmland set up specifically to grow food and to till it to maintain sustenance for the people that live there. You can see there is a small area that's also being cut for timber. There are people in the city, but it's sparse. Make a perception check.
Can I also make a perception check?
You may as well, yeah.
With my eagle vision?
You may.
24.
24, okay. As you get down close enough to start scanning over details, you can see a lot of the buildings appear to be closed or empty. There are people working the fields. There was a town square. And there was the tree there, a very large old tree that is kind of twisted with all these various gnarled branches that reach out. You recall Desmond mentioning something called the sun tree that is the centerpiece of this area, and you get a view enough of the tree to see that there are 8 humanoid bodies of varying ages swinging from it.
Oh no.
Also notice, trolling through the city at very slow paces, there are a few larger than normal humanoids. You see what appear to be approximately 6 giants that are just patrolling through the town, but you can see some of them are like kind of wrecked and broken. One of them is missing an arm and is kind of dragging a foot behind it. And you can
They're
see
zombie giants.
and apparently whenever one's moving through, most of the denizens of the town keep a very wide berth and generally avoid them entirely and go about their business in a distance. After you do a full pass over the city, those are most of the details you can make out at this height. Anything further, any specifics you want to go for before heading back?
Want to set me down so I can talk to some people?
You want to talk to people?
Well, or at least eavesdrop. I mean, we don't know if they're all vampires or not.
Your duration of your invisibility is about 20 more minutes before it dissipates.
This quick.
You go over to the edge and you can see they have carts up and they have what vegetables they have there. And a lot of the vegetables, even at a close look, a lot of them look kind of withered. It looks like there's a general sense of frustration that the land itself is not producing quality crops. And even the people look kind of unhealthy and gaunt by nature, whether it be the cold winter recently or just their general spirit is broken. But there is a feeling about these people that life here is not what it used to be. We have to make sure we get these back in time. Fill the cart. We have 2 carts we have to get in. This one's like, I know, I'm trying. And they're putting over there. And there's a little bit of frustration amongst them and the ones counting as they get the last bit of the crops. Like, that's it. That's all we have. That is the entire pull for the day. And the older gentleman is overseeing it, kind of grinds his hands and goes, so Carrion's gonna have my hide.
Carrion?
I don't hear this.
Wait, wasn't that one of the people that...
Yeah, wasn't it?
At the very least, let's gather it together. Hopefully,
I wrote that down.
the Lord protect us. And the people kind of take the carts and begin making their way towards the outer gate on the southeast side of Whitestone, where you guys are currently at.
I'm gonna hustle back to the roof.
All right.
I sneak around the corner a little bit, wait for an opening, and I lose invisibility, which will drop it on her as well.
Right.
And I will dimension door back up to the roof. Invisibility again.
Okay. Okay. You guys vanish, and Keyleth, you take off back in the direction you guys traveled from.
I'm restringing my new awesome bow with a blazing bowstring.
Okay.
Is a longbow of Sky Sentinel. Once per long rest, I can use a storm arrow.
Once per day, she fires an arrow, and the arrow splits into 3, and then each one bursts into like thunder damage, like bursts on them.
Say what?
I just want to say that I pulled my hood down for a moment and put on my calamari hat. And I pulled the hood back over.
You place it upon your head, and it's a loose. As you place it on, it kind of rattles for a moment, and then it form fits to your skull.
Really?
Your hair being pinched beneath it and kind of just emerging from underneath, almost Loki helmet style.
Looking snazzy, Vax.
Nice bonnet.
You put the hood back up, and
On your head.
there's a weird like buzzing vibrational feel as its magic attunes to you over the next hour or so as you're waiting, but you get the sensation that it will offer some decent protection from impeding charm effects. the flapping of wings. And you look up and you can see, since it is taking an hour to get there, the illusion just fades. Both a giant eagle and Scanlan appear in the moonlight right above the canopy of the forest you guys are close to, and return to the place you were.
Turns out the town is full of humans. You know,
okay.
except for these 6 vampire giants or zombie giants.
Looks like there were some executions that took place. There were about 8 bodies hanging from that tree.
Why is it called the Sun Tree?
Legends say that before the castle was built, that the journey into the valley was treacherous and stormy, and the original builders of White Castle feared they'd die. And this one great tree stood in the valley, and it was underneath it that they took shelter. And as they began to take shelter, the storm broke, and the storm did not return until the castle was completed.
That's a lovely story.
We hold our festivals there every year.
And now it's being used as a
gallows, yes.
That tree was representative to them as a guardian of Pelor, the god of the sun, protector of light and holiness.
Who
Is
dat?
considered one of the more,
A very serious god.
yeah.
Would you be able to revive the tree?
Like,
Bring it back.
Druid
yeah.
what would that
I
do?
can actually, yeah. It's gonna take me a minute to do the.
Like how long?
Well, it's one of those things where the longer I do it, the better it'll be.
Okay.
I can do it for up to 8 hours.
Oh, shit.
If I do it for up to 8 hours, I enrich the land over a half-mile radius, centered on a single point, and the land becomes enriched for a solid year.
My plan is we do our best to sneak in. We find cover. Obviously, you said there's abandoned buildings. We find cover. We heal the tree. I have some other ideas. We take those zombie giants out one by one, quietly.
We're gonna be insurgents?
Shh, let him
Want to
finish
be
the plan.
insurgents?
I kind of love this.
Okay.
It's kind of like Attack on Titan.
We
This is
start
cool.
finding our friends, and we start making friends.
Okay.
We let them know we're back.
I like it.
I have a thing I want to build while I'm in the tree. It's very simple. I want to take some gunpowder and basically
Like a pipe bomb.
basically attach it to a piece of parchment. I want to wet it into a piece of parchment and let it dry, so that when I set fire to that piece of parchment, I get a burn scar. To create a burn scar.
Yeah, that's totally doable.
Thank you.
Like, go ahead and roll a tinkering check just for the sake of the possible.
A burn scar on yourself?
No, it'll scar anything.
Huh.
It just creates very, very high heat.
Like
Oh,
a mark.
like a brand.
Like a mark. Like our mark.
Like a mark.
The resistance.
The resistance.
I need a beret.
I rolled a 23.
You managed to complete 3 pieces of parchment, roughly page size, with your black powder treatment successfully. The mist rolls in, gets thicker and thicker to the point where you cannot see the floor of the forest. The little bit of moonlight that manages to make its way through the boughs of the trees trickles through and then vanishes into these kind of slowly shifting bits of fog. Your breath, every time you exhale, is visible as the cold night air begins to take in. You find yourselves instinctively shivering as you cannot grow close to each other for heat nor build a fire for it. And the night, while uncomfortable, you do manage to get an evening's bit of mostly uncomfortable rest, but rest nonetheless. Eventually coming to, as the morning sun comes up and heats it up, the fog begins to fade away and burn away. An hour past sunrise as you all unrestfully come to consciousness as the temperature shift hits.
Can I do a quick scry back to the poo jar that I left in our kitchen, just to make sure our
Certainly.
home base is okay?
You take a moment and just concentrate in the kitchen. At this point in time, you can see early morning. Lena is currently just going in there yawning and is cleaning about and starting to make a small breakfast for all the guards. You can see and hear in the distance some conversation in the distant room. Appears to be a couple of your various employed mercenaries having a conversation. She's making breakfast.
So they're fine.
They seem fine.
So I knock that one off, and I'll try for Pike.
Okay. About 2 minutes of hard concentration. There's no connection.
He wiped my poo away.
You gather, due to the relatively fresh and unstable nature of this potion you had concocted, you can only have one source connection up at a time. So when you left it in your keep, it seems that the one you had at the Temple of Saren Ray was alleviated of its magical presence. So what was once a magical scry poo is literally just scat.
Which some could argue is magical in its own right.
Sure enough, with a high enough persuasion roll.
Teacher.
Does it change color when it loses its power?
You don't know?
Damn it! I want to know.
Only one way to find out.
God damn it!
Ask Pike when you see her again.
We can actually your poo power may come in very handy over the next. Like, this is good to know.
Could we throw in a Scanlan grenade and be able to see through it? Sure. Yeah.
A scat grenade.
A scat grenade. Sure, I could.
Scatlan.
I could get in.
Scatlan.
I could get in, shit in their bedroom, and leave.
You shit in your hand and you toss it.
Oh yeah, that
Throw it.
too. Hold the pin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember that. That's
This is
awesome.
what happens. This is what happens.
You could fly overhead with Keelan,
Yes.
drop it like a bomb.
And then we'd have eyes
Yeah.
in there. Oh,
I like it.
I
That's
like
really
this a
cool.
lot. Give me something to eat.
About another hour and a half of travel before you start getting to where the trees begin to clear up a little bit, and you can see the base of the cleared off mountain where Whitestone Castle is built upon, and the pathway that descends into the outer wall of the city of Whitestone.
Beard check.
Oh. Your beard is pretty much at the fullest it'll ever be. You probably get a little more thickness to it, but your beard's at maximum groggage. Like the fact that you even have a Goliath beard is a feat of magic in its own right.
Amazing.
Farmers?
I will cast seeming on us,
Oh, this is a legit use of seeming too. Okay.
where we will all look like
This is as opposed to the cows?
Opposed to the cows.
Come on.
dirty, ragged peasants.
Trinket as well.
Yes.
Trinket looks like a donkey.
He'll just be a really drunk peasant.
Or a
we-
donkey.
So you guys look like pretty rough peasants, dirty faces, hair a little razzled. Looks like you've been living the harsh life on the outskirts of the slums of Whitestone for quite
To
some
be a
time
model.
with a donkey. So you come into this entrance here. You make your way into the center of town, blending in best you can. There are a few folks who see you enter and kind of just give a strange look. You all are unfamiliar to the denizens of Whitestone,
Oh shit.
but you don't look like a threat per se, so you are noticed, and some people do seem to just stop and watch you pass, but no one seems to make any active mention, note, or change in behavior towards it.
When checking buildings while we're walking through.
Glance over your shoulder and you see, coming from the northern edge of this side wall,
Oh, we should avoid that shit.
a very tall, noticeably undead giant with its jaw broken off and hanging in the hinge, dried, caked blood across its chest, and it's just dragging this large club behind it. So you guys make your way through.
Keeping an eye out for, buildings that
What's-
look like clustered and abandoned, like we could hide in.
What's changed?
What you've noticed has changed. One, largely, the population is far more sparse than what you recall. What was once a bustling city, you're now seeing about half as many people as you would see at this time of day. Everyone seems to be in relatively poor health. There are a few buildings that look like long-term abandoned immediately in this kind of area here. You move past the center here, and to the left of you, you can see towards the town square, and there it is, the sun tree, a very, very large, you imagine beautiful tree at one time. At full height is probably about 40 feet tall. The branches twist out and almost look like they're hanging loosely at the ends. Everything looks droopy and desolate. There's not a leaf on it.
Can I do some sort of check from a distance to see if I can recognize what kind of tree it is?
Make an nature check.
18.
It's hard to tell from this distance. There are a number of types of trees it could be. It's not indigenous to this land. The fact that it grew here means that either it was transplanted or it was some sort of
Magically grown.
magical creation for its presence. And you do see the silhouette of the 8 figures slowly swaying from beneath the branches. You guys turn left and you make your way towards the town square. And as you enter the square, looking around, you can see there are what would have been carts and small booths set up for selling of meats and other goods. What was a small, barter and sale-based hub of this town, nowhere near on the scale of Iman's Bazaar, but enough to support this town, all looked to be closed down and untouched for quite some time. As you guys are keeping on the outskirts of the square, it's hard to make out the details, and the weathering has kind of muddled the figures that are hanging there. Percy and Vax, you guys notice the figure on the far left has a red paint smattered across its face and its arms. It's wearing a dirtied green vest-like robe that dangles below it as it hangs there loosely. Immediately to the left of it, you see what looks to be the body of a child. The child is dressed up in a purple-ish billowing shirt, a very fine silk shirt and pantaloons, and is dangling there next to it. To the left of that, you see it appears to be a female, adorned in greens and browns. It looks like red paint has been driven through the hair, and dangles to the left of that figure. Next to that, you see what appears to be...
I'm walking the fuck away.
Another woman, dressed in dark blacks and browns, leathers, some furs across the top, dark hair, dangling. To the left of that, you see another man, dressed similarly, dark grays and blacks, long dark hair, dangling. To the left of that, you see a rather large man, older, rotund, probably in his 40s, clothing padded, but mostly open chest, hair completely shaved bald. Looks like there are dark scars or placed across the face, hanging. To the left of that, you see this figure is actually not humanoid. It appears to have been
Oh my god.
recently hunted bear that is dangling.
No.
Wait, what? Is that us?
It looks like us.
What?
It's us.
They killed people they thought were us. Or they killed...
Or it's a message.
Or it's a message to us.
Do they look like us, or are they just dressed like us?
Do you want to get closer and look?
Yeah.
I'm a little curious.
Do you want to get closer? And
Is there
look?
is there
Are
any
you
is there
sure?
anything around the tree other than
They're
that? Is there
probably
anything at the
watching
base
the
of the
tree.
tree? Is there anything?
The briar.
From what you can see now,
they are.
nothing but just rocks and stones and piles of loose
We have
cloth
a
that
good
has been rotting
plan.
below it. Approaching, it looks like each one of these bodies has been dressed up. You gather with a moment of looking at it, these were not individuals that were caught this way. This was set up as a message.
Oh.
Keep walking, keep your head down, and keep walking.
Stick with the plan.
Sticking with the plan.
Let's go find a building.
Going to go find something that's a decent distance away from the three noble households that has a reasonable view of the tree.
Yeah, 150 feet from the tree.
That would probably be somewhere in this vicinity here, as the three main houses are right there.
Something with a second floor view, but with some distance.
I'll say it takes the better part of the next hour or so, and you do a little bit of meandering to find it. You guys are being stealthy best you can through alleys and such, but you do manage to see what appears to be what was once a tavern or an inn of some kind that is silent, closed, the door is locked and chained. The windows look
In the
dusty.
window so it keeps chained.
Okay, you go around the side of it through the alley. I managed to get the window open, and as you pull it up, the dust kind of billows up around you, kind of set it aside. You step in, and the place smells stale, musty, dark. You can see candlesticks set around that have not been lit for a while, and the oil lanterns that normally light the interior of the main tavern social area have been long in disuse.
Is there a cellar here?
If you guys want to look around, are you all going in, or is it?
Yeah, we're all going.
No, we're all going in.
I'm gonna look for a brothel.
You all make your way
It's going to
in.
be the saddest brothel.
You find your way inside the abandoned tavern, and it is what was this giant L-shaped building right here in the corner of the town square. There's a second floor. Approximately runs 20 rooms. They're all currently unlocked. Some of them left open. The bedding covered in dust. Some of it looks like it was left in a hurry.
Yeah, we'll take it.
There is a cellar, and down there are a number of empty barrels and a couple of ones that are still full. One that appears to be almost like a heavy whiskey barrel. Probably about 20 untouched wine bottles.
Nice.
A little bit of ale, but it looks like a lot of the ale was either completely used or taken with whoever left and abandoned the premises.
I think we could definitely use these for explosions if we need them.
Or to drink.
I've watched you pass through solid stone and earth. How long can you do that for?
I mean, I can burrow us a tunnel right now.
Do it.
Can you get us close to the underneath the tree?
That's what she's gonna do.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna move Earth.
From the cellar.
Okay.
Go down
We're gonna start carving a tunnel to the bottom of the
to the direction of the tree, and I want to be careful. I don't want to damage the roots of the tree at all. So as I start getting closer, I want to start looking for the roots of the tree.
Okay.
But just in case, I think I'll hang back. I'll just keep an eye on above ground.
I am
and
too.
we
I'm
can
staying with you in the
talk.
I'm gonna go with you to the tunnel.
Okay.
I'm gonna tinker a little thing. Can I borrow an arrow?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm gonna tinker a very little easy thing.
You want the top floor? I'll take the bottom.
I want to be able to fire and ignite the one of the parchments that on an arrow. It would be a spark as opposed to actual flame. It would just be concussive force of
Right. It's more getting the parchment there without it tearing or the arrow leaving it behind, because it is a very thin, flimsy piece.
It would be coiled.
Oh, coiled and then
Hit, release, and yeah.
okay. That's gonna be a really intricate. Go ahead and roll a tinker's check.
A 16.
Okay. You toy with it for a while. You think you have something that may work.
All right.
You're uncertain as to on its
Cool.
release if it will function or not. So write down parchment delivery arrow with a question mark next to it.
Yeah.
You continue to burrow through the ground, kind of moving the earth aside, and the tunnel just kind of opens before you, like the clay slowly melting away. And it is, wet earth. Eventually you start getting to a few thick roots under the tree.
I'm gonna kind of clear out a little bit more area, and I want to touch the roots and cast Speak with Plants.
Speak with plants.
Sweet shit.
Silence.
Oh no.
It's dead.
No!
Dead.
Should I start it up now?
Yeah.
Do
Go
it.
for it.
For days.
I'm gonna start my plant growth. Hope you guys are ready for this.
Is it gonna be loud?
No, it's just gonna take a long time.
Max and I are guarding the tavern, so if anything
I'm
comes,
gonna
we'll
get some provisions ready to like spoon feed her.
Actually, yeah. Before I do that, can we all have one last meal together and eat a hero's feast?
I like it.
Let's see here.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's eat.
You are immune to poison and diseases and being frightened, and all wisdom saving throws are made with advantage.
That was a delicious feast.
Oh, the tikka masala was tangy.
Yeah, I need that
God,
for
now
you.
I'm feeling it.
So, feast consumed. You now take your next 8 hours
I'm gonna go meditate. I'll be back in 8 hours.
to work on this as she sits down to begin the ritual of cleansing or of bringing plant vitality enhancement to the vicinity of Whitestone. We're going to go ahead and end today's session there.
Yes!
Man.
Take up at the end of that spell at the beginning of next week.
I love you all so much.
Interesting.
Fuck.
I love you so much.